What type of questions did we come across in your reasoning and decision making section in this particular exam yesterday, right? So how was it for you guys, right? Let me know in the comment section, please. Batayega that how did you find the two sections, that is for reasoning and decision making. Now reasoning had 20 questions, decision making had 10 questions, and it is a qualifying section, right? You don't have anything that will be taken into consideration while calculating the final scores. These are only qualifying in nature, but again you have to qualify the minimum cutoff, right? So minimum cutoff has to be qualified in here. So chalo, let's quickly have a look at different types of questions. Now guys, I'll tell you that we are not having the exact questions in here, so we will just have an overview of what we came across in the decision making section, and also some of the sample questions that we had, right? The topics that we had. So similar type of questions we have taken, not the exact question that we had here, right? So I've just made the sample questions from whatever I came across. That is when I had a conversation with the students and with the people who had attempted this particular questions. So we have taken those type of questions from there. Okay. So chalo, let's quickly have a look at what came in the decision making section first. So guys, decision making section had some questions which could have been done with the help of option elimination. Nothing that is very tricky, right? Some of the questions were actually tricky also, but they were mostly like, let's say if we talk about decision making section, guys, generally you will see that the cutoff is below 2. So that means if you attempt 3 or 4 questions correctly, that means you have qualified the minimum cutoff here. So there were at least 4 to 5 questions which you could have easily attempted, answered it with the help of option elimination. Like one of them was about Pareto analysis. So if you know what is Pareto analysis, you could have easily answered it. It was based on the 20-80% relationship, right? So what is actually Pareto analysis? Analysis is a decision making technique that can be used to identify the most important factors in a given situation. Now it was named after the Italian economist who is Vilfredo Pareto. The technique is based on the principle that is that 20% of the causes will produce 80% of the result. So most probably the question was based on from this part, that is the principle here on which it is based on, right? The Pareto analysis here. Okay. Similarly, there was another question which was based on this particular bias, that is satisficing. Again, a very easy topic. So if you know what is satisficing, you could have easily answered this question. So satisficing क्या होता है? It is a decision making strategy that aims for a satisfactory or adequate result. मतलब I am happy with whatever I have achieved. Like let's say if I was doing the reasoning section and I just want to clear my basic cutoff, that means I'll work accordingly. Once I have achieved that cutoff, I'll not work harder in there, right? I'll not try to attempt more questions because this is a qualifying nature. So that is your satisficing, that yes, I am having a satisfactory adequate result. I have already made the qualifying score, the basic cutoff. I'll not try to have more marks in here because there is no uske koi fayda nahi hai, theek hai? So rather than the optimal solution, so optimal solution that yes, I could have attempted 20 questions rather than just clearing the basic cutoff of 5 or 6. Now instead of putting maximum exertion toward attaining the ideal outcome, satisficing focuses on pragmatic effort when confronted with tasks. So that is your satisficing here. Okay. So there was one question based on satisficing as well. Similarly, there was a question based on mechanistic decisions. Now, what is mechanistic decision? The daily routine work, right? So here we do not have a lot of thinking to be done. So it is a mechanistic decision is one that is a routine and repetitive in nature. It usually occurs in a situation involving a limited number of decision variables where the outcomes of each alternatives are known. Like let's say when somebody has to decide the timing, that if he has to record that at what time a person is coming to an organization, that is done on a daily basis, right? It is a mechanistic decision, not a lot of thought work is to be done in that. So that is your mechanistic decision which happens on a routine basis, which is repetitive in nature. So there was a question on mechanistic decisions as well. You can mention if you have already completed the examination. If you have attempted the examination, then in the comment section, guys, you can let us know that whether you came across this particular topic and whether you were able to do it or not. Okay. Also, we had some questions from heuristics, right? So what are heuristics? These are your shortcuts, the mental shortcuts that can help people make the decisions more effectively, right? So these are your mental shortcuts here. Similarly, there was one question on confirmation bias, that what actually is confirmation bias related to. So confirmation bias is actually that people have their previous thoughts and thought process, right? So here, the people's tendency to process information by looking for or interpreting information that is consistent with their existing set of beliefs. So I have a set of beliefs here, and if I am processing my information or I am taking the decision based on that particular existing belief, that is said to be a confirmation bias, right? Now this biased approach to decision making is largely unintentional, and it results in a person ignoring information that is inconsistent with their beliefs, right? So like, yeah, here you can see what are the examples of confirmation bias: not seeking out objectives or facts, interpreting information to support your existing belief, similarly only remembering details that uphold that belief, and ignoring confirmation that challenges your belief, right? So whatever is your existing belief, you will just try to reincarnate the information, you will process that information on the basis of that particular belief only, right? It has to be in the same line of thought. You will never challenge your existing set of belief in your confirmation bias, okay? Similarly, there was a question on nominal group technique also. What is a nominal group technique, guys? It is another decision making technique, that how do we have the information, right? How do we collect the information? Like we had brainstorming, the Delphi technique. So this nominal group technique is also one of the methods here to collect the data, to collect the information based on which you can find the optimal result here. Okay. So what happens in nominal group technique? It's a silent idea generation, round robin sharing ideas, feedback from the group, explanatory GDs are there, individual reassessment, and mathematical aggregation of revised judgments happen in here. Okay, so it is a generic name for face-to-face group techniques in which instructions are given to group members not to interact with each other except at specific steps in the process. So that is your nominal group technique. So there was a question on the basis of this as well. So here we do not have the exact question, guys. If you remember any exact question, you can mention in the comment section as well. Okay. These are just the topics from which you came across, from which the questions were there. Okay. Similarly, synectics. What was synectics here? Synectics is an approach to problem solving that focuses on cultivating creating thinking, often small groups of individuals with diverse experiences and skills. Now, what is synectics, guys? It is an approach to problem solving that involves creative thinking. Now, this particular question based on synectics could have been avoided as per the students which I talk, that this was a difficult one where you could not have eliminated the options, right? Sometimes option elimination will help you out a lot, but sometimes you will see that the questions, the options are very close to each other. So this was one question which should have not been, which you can let go, right? Because there are some 10 questions, out of the which you have to attempt 4 to 5 questions, right? Because you have to clear the basic cutoff. Basic cutoff is generally 1 or 2 marks, right? उससे ज़्यादा तो जाता भी नहीं है. So yes, if you are able to do 4-5 questions absolutely accurately, you can let go of 1 or 2 questions here. So this is your synaptics, right? So in this, you were getting some questions from here as well. Okay. Now let's come to the reasoning topic. So we have already covered some 7 topics which we came across in your decision making, which we could have completed. Now comes reasoning section where we had some questions, 20 questions in here, and we had to see, we had to finally do some, let's say if we were able to do some 7-8 questions correctly, then also we could have crossed the basic cutoff here. So you will see that we had some questions which were very, very easy, like inequality and syllogism. So you can see 5 questions from here only. And these were very, very direct questions, nothing that was very tricky or something which was very time taking. Like inequality was not coded inequality, or syllogism was not reverse syllogism. So inequality was direct inequality filler type questions. So there was a statement given, and then you had to tell which of the following was definitely true. Similarly, there was a question of filler type, that is, in place of this blank, which of the following options should be there. Then syllogism was based on only a few. Only a few is a combination of some plus some not. Okay, we'll have some sample questions for all these topics, don't worry. We will see that how actually these work. I don't have the same questions, exact same questions, but the topics and the difficulty level is same. Okay. Direction sense also was there, which was absolutely direct. That is one question, single question from direction sense. Similarly, there was a blood relation where you had to draw a family tree. Again, a doable question. So you can see these four, five, six, seven, eight questions, absolutely easy. Apart from that, you can see that we had data sufficiency, which will take some time. Although people said that it was based on Chinese coding. So this is a doable topic, but again, data sufficiency takes some time, so you can avoid that particular part. Similarly, puzzles may, if you check this particular puzzle, which is based on the type of fabric that they were wearing and the day and date where you had to fix the persons, right? The six persons wearing six different types of fabrics, and they went to a certain place on a particular date, right? This can be done very, very easily. But this particular seating arrangement, if you tried to complete this seating arrangement, this would take some time, because this was a circular seating arrangement plus blood relation. That means you will have to find the family tree, and then you will have to arrange these people along a circle. So this is going to be time taking. At least it will take some 4 3 4 minutes, right? Minimum 3 4 minutes will go in here. So for a question which is going to be qualifying nature, right, you should not spend that much time. So here you can see that you could have attempted these particular questions, these 8 questions, very, very easily. You don't need much time in here, and you could have easily qualified the cutoff here for the reasoning section. Okay. So we will quickly go through the types of questions that we had here yesterday. So this is the first type of question. You can see this is your normal inequality where a statement has been given. This is the statement given, and there is a blank here or question mark. So you have to first tell that what should be there in place of this question mark, so that these two becomes definitely true. Okay. So these two should become definitely true. What should be the place? What should be there in place of question mark? So you can see we have E is equal to C. This is less than equal to B. Then we have a blank here with D less than A and less than F. Now, how will B be less than F? We can see if we have a less than equal to, or an equal to, we will have a B less than F. Why? Because we already have a less than here between D to A and A to F. That means the symbol should be of similar nature. It should not be contradictory. That is, it should not be greater or greater than equal to have a B less than F. But also it is given that D has to be greater than equal to E. Now, how do we have a D greater than equal to? You can see we have a greater than equal to here and equal to here. So to have a D greater than equal to E, we should have either a greater than equal to or an equal to. Because if you take this greater than, then the final relation between D to E will become D is greater than E, which is making this particular second conclusion as possibly true, right? So that means this is not the answer. So you can see these two will be the answer here. So that means we can either have a less than equal to or an equal to in place of question mark, right? So the question that had come yesterday was based on the similar principle. That is, what should come in place of blank so that the conclusions become definitely true. Not exactly the same question, guys. Again, I'm telling you, this is not the exact same question. This is just on the same pattern that we had yesterday. Okay, so similar type of question was there. Similarly, you can see that we have certain statements here, and then you have to tell which of the following is definitely true here, right? So again, set of statements given to us, and we have to check which of the following conclusions is definitely true. S less than A. Now, how do we combine these? That is the important part. How do we combine? Let's check. S is less than T, T is less than C. Then you can see C is greater than B and B is greater than equal to A. So the common conclusion, the common variable between the two is your C. So with help of C, you will be combining, right? So S to T, T to C, but again C is greater than. So you can see that when you travel from S to A, you are getting symbols of opposite nature between the two. So S less than E will not be a definite one. It is just a possibility, because it will be cannot be determined, because we are getting symbols of opposite nature here, isn't it? Similarly, A to Q. A is greater than Q. So what should be the relation here? How do we connect? You can see we have A is less than equal to B. And after that, we do not have anywhere A, or कहीं A तो है नहीं. So how will we have a greater than something? A has to be less than something or less than equal to something. It can never be greater than for sure, because you have seen that A is less than equal to B. अब starting ही अगर less than equal to से है, so how can we have a greater than here? So that means this is also invalid. Okay, A and B are not true. Similarly, C, T greater than R. How do we connect your T to R? Let's check, right? You can see we have T is less than C is less than equal to Q, and Q is equal to R. So T will be less than R, not greater than. तो यहाँ पर T greater than R आपका false हो जाएगा. ठीक है. So fourth, देखो P greater than equal to T. How do we connect P to T? You can see we have a P is less than C and C is greater than T. Again a possibility, because this is again a cannot be determined, so not the right answer. What is D less than equal to R? You can see here that we have D is equal to C, right? D is equal to C. C is less than equal to Q and Q is equal to R. So what will be the final relation from D to R? You can see we have equal to, less than equal to, and equal to. So between these two symbols, less than equal to will prevail, right? That gets the highest priority. So D will be less than equal to R. So yes, this will be the right answer here. So you can see that another question of this format was also there yesterday in there, where you were given a statement, and based on those statement you have to tell which of the following conclusions was definitely true, right? I hope you guys also came across yesterday similar type of questions. Then there were questions from syllogisms which were based on only a few. Now, what is only a few, guys? Only a few is nothing but a combination of some plus some not. Okay? Only a few का क्या मतलब होता है? When we say only a few A or B, then we mean that some A or B, you can see there has to be a definite interaction of A and B, and there has to be a particular portion of A which will never be a part of B. So here some is also true, that is some A or B, and there is also that some A should never be B, right? Some A are not B. So both are simultaneously true in only a few. Like here we say only a few caps are packed. So what is the meaning of this line? So we know that some caps are packed, right? Let's say this is cap here. Some caps are packed, and there is a definite portion of cap which will never be a part of pack. Okay. Some packs are cups. Let's say this is your caps here. Now some packs are cups. You can see this is your cups here. Okay. And no cups are plates, right? No cups are plates will be like this. Let's say this is your plates here. Okay. So this is the diagram. Now all caps being cups is a possibility. Can all caps go inside your cups? You can see these two are independent of each other. We could have drawn the cups like this as well, right? There is no negative information between the two. So if there is no negative information between the two, so yes, there is a possibility that caps can go inside your cups for sure. So you can say yes, it is a possibility. Similarly, the second one, some packs can never be plates. Some packs can never be plates. Absolutely, this is also true. Why? Because there is a definite portion of pack which is a combination, which is common between your packs and cups, right? So the common portion between packs and cups will never be a part of plates. So yes, there is a definite portion of pack which will never be a part of plate. मतलब ये वाला भी आपका definitely true है. So the answer to this question will be both, right? So similar type of questions were there from only a few. Similarly, this particular question, let's practice. Let's see, only a few grills are bills. That means some grills are bills. Okay, some grills are bills, and there is a certain portion of grill which will never be a part of bill. Some hills are bills. Let's say this is your hill here. Some hills are bills, and all hills are mills, right? These are the statements here. Now, what is the first one? All mills are bills. You can see all mills are bills. That's a possibility, not a definite one. Definite to nahi hai. Some grills can be mills. You can see some grills can be mills. Yes, they are independent of each other. No negative information. So there is a possibility. Can be is a possibility word. So absolutely, some grills can be mills will be true in here. So the answer to this question has to be only true. Okay, ये only true होगा. चलो next देख लेते हैं बहुत जल्दी से. Only a few vegetables are fruit. That means some vegetables are fruits. Okay, some vegetables are fruits, and there are certain vegetables which are not fruits. कुछ इस तरह से होगा. Some fruits are not salad. Let's say this is your some not. So let's say this is your salad here. So we know that there is a specific portion of fruit which will never be a part of salad. कुछ इस तरह से होगा. All brinjals are salad. Let's say this is your brinjal here, right? So this is the diagram. No fruits are brinjal. You can see no fruits are brinjal to nahi hoga. Let's say if it was some fruits are not brinjal, that would have been true, because this portion of fruit, that is this one, should not go into salad, hence it cannot go into brinjal. But apart from that, this particular portion can interact with your salad and brinjal, because this does not have a negative information here. So no to nahi hoga, right? You can see. And also we know the rule here that to have a universal conclusion, there has to be something universal nature in the statements also. तो यहाँ पर ना तो no है ना ही only है in statement. How can we have a definite no in the conclusion? है ना? So first is wrong. Second क्या बोल रहा है? Some salads are vegetable. That's again a possibility, not a definite one. So this is also wrong. So answer has to be none of them. ठीक है, तो ये आपका क्या हो जाएगा? None of these. तो इस तरह के 3 क्वेश्चंस आए थे आपके सिलोजिज्म्स में, which were based on only a few. Okay. Similarly, we had another topic which was your data sufficiency. अब data sufficiency was based on Chinese coding, like the people who gave the exam mentioned. ठीक है, तो इसको जल्दी से देख लेते किस तरह से करते हैं. So here we have data sufficiency. That means you have to tell which of the following data is sufficient to answer the question that has been asked. Like what is the code for is? आपको is का code निकालना है, right? So whether data in given in option number 1 alone is sufficient, whether the data given in option number 2 alone is sufficient, whether you need to combine the data, or whether none of them is sufficient to answer the question, or is it either or. ठीक है, let's check. So we have to find the code for is. You can see first वाले में क्या दे रखा है? Apple is an appetizer. It is an apple. Apple has vitamins, right? So if you compare these three, you can see apple is, and if you compare this one and this one, right? What is common between them? Apple is an, and apple is an, right? So you can see apple is an is common. And if you check with the third one, sorry, so you can see it has apple. So there will be a problem between is and an in the first one, right? We cannot determine that what is the code for is and what is the code for an. So we cannot find the definite code of is using first one alone. Now let's check the second one. It is a book. Book is in English. It has book file. So again, compare this one and this. What is common between the two? It is a book. Book is in English. So you can see is here, is here. Book is here, book is here, right? So book and is common. It and a is not common. So book is, right? We are having a problem between book and is. But here, if you check this one, it has book file. So you can see this one has book, but it does not have is. That means now you can find the code for book. So that means the remaining code will be for is. That means statement 2 alone is sufficient to answer the question. So this question, the answer has to be only 2. Okay. So similar type of question based on Chinese coding was there. But guys, remember that whenever you have data sufficiency, it will take some time, right? Because this is a single question. It is better to go for a set-based question rather than doing this single question in your examination generally. Because this will take some time. It will take same time as you solve a puzzle. Utana hi time lagega and you will be getting only 1 mark, right? It is better to solve your syllogisms, inequality, direction, sense or blood relation rather than this one. चलो let's have a look at the direction sense pattern that we had yesterday. तो इस तरह का एक क्वेश्चन आया था, that is we had to find the difference between the pointers here. So what is given? Manisha was driving a car in a racetrack and had to cover different checkpoints. These checkpoints were labeled with different flags named alphabetically. She started from point A, which is 10 meters west of C. So let's say this is your A, which is 10 meters west of C. This is your 10 meters west. Now D was 10 meters north of G. E was 10 meters south of B. Flag F was 10 meters south of F, C, right? So this can be drawn here. F is 20 meters south of C. So let's say this is your F here, which is 20 meters south of C. Okay. What else can we have? G is 15 meters east of F. So G is 15 meters east of F. Let's say this is your G and this is your 15 meters. Also we have D is 10 meters north of G. So D is 10 meters north of G. Let's say this is your D and this is your 10 meters. ठीक है, ये बन गया. Now what else do we have? B is 15 meters east of D. So B has to be 15 meters east of D, something like this. And finally E is 10 meters south of B, right? So E has to be 10 meters south of B. So that means you can see that this E and G will be in the same horizontal line. That is E will be towards the east of G, right? So this is the final diagram that you will be getting. So the question is, what is the distance between F and E? So you can see this is your flag F, this is your flag E. What is the distance here? You can see the distance between them is 15 plus 15, that is equal to 30 meter. So how much time do you need to complete this question? Maybe a minute, right? Not more than that. So you can see that this question also could have been attempted and answered very, very easily. Similarly, we had a question based on blood relation also, which had two questions in there. So another question which you could have attempted, because there were two questions. You solve the family tree and you can answer two questions in there. Okay. So family of 7 members we have. B's brother was married to C. So B has a brother here. Let's say this is B's brother. He is married to C. So C has to be a female person, right? Because B's brother is married to C. So brother will be married to a female here. Okay. G was D's son. D was the brother-in-law of C's only sibling. So you can see C has one sibling, right? And this person is unmarried here, and D was the brother-in-law of C's only sibling. That means D has to be this person. Now we have G was D's son, so you can see G has to be the son of D. So G will be a male person. Now E was married to A. Okay, we'll check that out later. E has to be married to A. B was the son of E. So B was the son of E. So you can see B has to be a male person. He is the son of E, but E was not the father of B. That means E has to be the mother. And E was married to A. So A has to be a male person here. Something like this, right? So you can see this kind of structure we are getting here. And we have 7 persons in here. So A, B, C, D, E. So that means remaining person has to be F. Now the question is, how is B related to G? So you can see B will be the uncle of G. How much time do you require here? So two questions based on a single family tree could have been completed very, very easily. Okay? Chalo. Next question, which was a question based on the day and date based puzzle, right? Similar type of question was there from puzzles, where you had to place these people along the different dates, and we had one variable which was added, which was the fabric that the person was wearing. Okay, so इस तरह का question था. Let's first see how to complete this particular question. So you can see we have 6 dates in here, 6 persons and 6 different dates, because 3 months have been given: January, April, and September, right? So we have, let's say, 6 or 25, 625, 625, and 625. Okay, so 6 dates in here and 3 months. So first month is January, second month given here is April. Okay, April, and third is September. Okay, so these are the 6 dates given to us. Okay, chalo, let's see what is given here. So now the first information says Q wore denim and was born in a month with 31 days on an odd value date. The dates here are 6 and 25. That means we know that Q has to be born on 25th of a month. And the month should have 31 days in here. So the only month which is having 31 days here is January, right? So that means we know that Q denim has to be here only. So Q denim will be there on 25th of January. Now P and Q were born at a gap of 3 persons. So 1, 2, 3, P has to be here. This person will be P. The person who wore silk was born immediately before P. So you can see silk has to be here. This will be your silk ticket. 2 persons between S and T, such that S was born before T and T wore the garment that is cotton, right? So you can see there has to be 2 persons between S and T, such that S is before T, such that T is wearing cotton here, right? So this has to be the structure for S and T. So कहाँ पर आएगा आपका S and T? You can see the only possibility here will be here S 1 2. This will be your T cotton. ठीक है, ये हो जाएगा. Now we have R wore the woolen garment. So R woolen, that means completely vacant. You can see the only complete vacant is your April 6. So R and woolen will be here, right? ये आपका R woolen हो जाएगा. And now S did not wear the jute garment. So if S is not wearing the jute one, so that means P has to be wearing jute. Now who is the only person remaining? That's your U, right? Ma'am, Pareto option was correct or not? iOS, I don't have the exact question here, mobile gaming. So अगर आप मुझे exact question बता पाओगे तो मैं आपको आंसर बता सकती हूँ. But most probably it was the Pareto only. क्योंकि the people, the students I had a conversation, they said that there was a question based on Pareto. So most probably it was the right answer. Okay, वो 80-20 वाला option था क्या? क्या question क्या था आपको? You remember the question whether it was based on the 80 and 20 principle? If it was 80-20 principle, then it has to be Pareto only. ठीक है? So you can see the only thing that is remaining is your Lycra. तो ये आपका Lycra हो जाएगा. ठीक है? So this would be the answer here. And then you have 5 questions. So again, you can see if you are able to attempt this particular puzzle, it could have been done very easily. बहुत आराम से आप कर सकते थे, ठीक है. So always try to maximize your number of attempts in minimum number of times. So here the questions that you should have attempted were these particular questions, right? I told you यहाँ पर आप inequality syllogisms बहुत आराम से कर सकते थे. Then this puzzle also could have been done, right? Because yeah, you can see that this is a doable question and you are getting 5 questions in that particular time. अगर मान लो डायरेक्शन सेंस या ब्लड रिलेशन में टाइम लगता है, डिपेंड्स ऑन योर लेट्स से whether you are comfortable with this particular topic or not. So you have to decide that which is the one that will fetch you the maximum marks in here, है ना. So inequality and syllogisms तो करने ही है क्योंकि they are very easy, very scoring and you can be sure of your scores there. Direction sense, blood relation, depending on your comfort level. If you are not comfortable with blood relation, let's say अगर आपको वहां पर प्रॉब्लम आती है, तो it's better to go for direction sense, it's better to go for that particular fabric and day and date based puzzle. ठीक है, सीटिंग अरेंजमेंट वाला तो नहीं करना चाहिए था बिकॉज इट वॉज अ वेरी लेंदी पजल एंड देयर वर क्वेश्चंस ऑफ ब्लड रिलेशन. मतलब वहां पर आपको ब्लड रिलेशन पहले बना के फिर सर्कुलर अरेंजमेंट करना था. So always choose the best possible questions only which will give you the maximum marks. And remember that it was just on the basis of मतलब qualifying nature का है, ऐसा नहीं है कि ये आपका final scores में आ रहा है ना. So qualifying nature का है, so it's better to go for the satisfactory kind of relationship. मतलब satisfying वाला bias यहाँ आ जाना चाहिए आपका कि हाँ मैंने इतना कर लिया तो काफी है, उसमें टाइम वेस्ट करने का कोई फायदा नहीं है ना. So I hope this is clear everybody. Now I have told you already that these are not the exact questions in here. These are just what we got there, right? So to give you a idea of the level and the topics that we came across in yesterday's paper. Okay. So I hope it was clear that what exactly was there in the paper. Again, for the cutoff guys, the decision making will be around 2, right? Won't be going beyond 2. And for reasoning also it will be around 5 or 5.5, nothing more than that, right? 4-5 के आसपास ही जाएगा, उससे ज्यादा नहीं जाएगा. 5-5.5, उससे ज्यादा नहीं जाना चाहिए for the reasoning section as well, because there was a puzzle which was on the trickier side. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this particular class. We will be having more classes in the coming days for other exams, right? तो जो आपके रेगुलेटरी अदर एग्जाम्स होते हैं उसके लिए भी हम क्लासेस जरूर लेंगे. So I hope you were able to do the maximum number of questions in the reasoning section and you found the classes interesting that we had for decision making or the reasoning section. उससे आपको help जरूर मिली होगी. तो चलो, thank you so much guys. I'll see you again with another session. You will be having analysis of quant section as well at 4 p.m. So do not miss it out. Sir will be talking about what was there. Similarly, ma'am ने computer का लेना है, ठीक है? तो there are analysis of all the sections separately. So do check it out. So thank you so much guys. I'll see you again with another session. Please take care. Stay safe. Have a great day. Thank you.